The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put the x's together and add a box. Then put the y's together and add a box. And then move the 205, the minus 205 to the other side of the equation as a plus 205. And we're going to do plus box, plus box. Now, a lot of these are going to have leading coefficients, so you cannot complete the square until the x squared is naked. So I'm going to take out a 3 and do x squared minus 2x plus box, and then take out an 8, y squared minus 4y plus box, and then you have your plus box on the other side. Does everybody get that? Yeah. So now let's figure out our plus box. And I'm going to write this again smaller so that I can see, because we had some box stuff in the way. Plus box, and then that equals 205 plus box plus box. So the first box, we take this number here, divide it by 2, and square it. And we get a 4. Okay, 2, no we don't, we get a 1. We get a 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1 squared is 1. Everybody get that? The 4 is on the other side. When you divide 4 by 2, you get 2, and 2 squared is 4. To find the box, you do b divided by 2, and then you square it. You can do it in the calculator if you need to. But on the right side, over here, I really added a 3 times 1 because there's a 3 outside the parentheses. So I'm going to add a 3 here. And over here, I really added a 32. Now we start factoring, and we have a 3. And this is x minus 1 squared. And then we have an 8, and we have y minus 2 squared, and that equals 240. If you remember, the equation is equal to 1 in your formula sheet. Remember, it was equal to 1? So I have to divide everything by 240. And I get x minus 1 squared over 80 plus y minus 2 squared over 30 equals 1. Recap. We put the x's first and add the plus box. We put the y's next and add the plus box. Any plain number, you move it to the right side of the equation. Make sure you change the sign. And you add 2 plus boxes, because when you put a plus box on the left, you got to put a plus box on the right. Then we factor out anything that's hanging on to the x squared, and we factor off anything that's hanging on to the y squared, and then find our box. But when we find our box, on the left side, we have to multiply it by the guy outside the parenthesis there. Otherwise, we're not going to get the right answer. Because when I added 4 here, I really added 32 because there's an 8 outside that parenthesis. Is that distracting people? Is group the x's together? I would like to do another one, yeah. And put a plus box, and then do the y's together. And put a plus box. Move that negative 398, and then plus box. Plus box. We're going to need calculators here. We've got a lot going on. Before we start completing the square or doing the plus box, we have to factor out, the x squared has to be naked, so we factor out the 35, and that's minus 10x plus box, and here we factor out the 3. We have y squared plus 8y plus box. And that equals negative 398 plus box plus box. I'm assuming there's going to be some big numbers coming our way. So what is half of 10?
Half 5.
Squared,
To 10.
25.
25.
What is half of 8?
4.
Squared.
16.
Very good.
So smart.
So over on the right side, what is 35 times 25? So we get negative 398 plus 875 plus 48 is 525. But we remember that our formula sheet says that we have to equal it to 1. So we have to divide everything by 525. So we take out the 35, we factor it as x minus 5 squared plus 3 times y plus 4 squared equals 525. Then we divide everybody by 525, and then that's going to be plus y plus 4 squared over 175. And that equals 1, because 525 over 525 is 1. So the first thing we do is we group the x's together. And we add a plus box, and then we group the y's together, and we add a plus box, and then we move the negative 116 to the other side, and we add the 2 plus boxes. Okay? Then before we complete the square, we take out the 3, so we have x squared plus 8x plus box. Take out the 4 on the y squared. We have y squared plus 4y plus box equals 116 plus box plus box. On the left, half of 8 is 4, and 4 squared is 16. And half of 4 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. But over on the right, we have to multiply the 3 times the 16. We get another 48. And we multiply the 4 times the 4, and we get a 16. Now we factor the inside of the parenthesis. It's x plus 4 squared plus the 4, and the y plus 2 squared equals 180. And then we divide everything by 180. And we get x plus 4 squared over 60 plus y plus 2 squared over 90, I believe. No, 45 equals 1.